Hi, I'm Darrian P. Mack.
And I'm Nicky, and this is Notification Squad
on the Leaderboard. So this is a show where we talk about games, give out prizes, and respond to your comments from our videos during the week.
And we have an interesting conversation for you guys today. Darrian's been asking me this all week.
And not all week.
Okay.
It was part of the week.
It was just earlier today.
Yeah, technically. Actually factual.
What is, or what defines you as a gamer? What is a gamer? How do you actually determine yourself as a gamer? Is it the hours you play? Is it the kind of games that you play? And you in the comments, we want you to join into the discussion, but we are talking gamers versus non-gamers.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a lot of these conversations over the weekend. Someone was like, well, we were talking about basically, one of my friends, like what makes someone a gamer. Like they were saying, you know, if you play mobile games only, does that make you a gamer, right? Like if you're just on your computer. And I think you can take the approach, right? Yeah, if you pick up a controller, you're a gamer. But I think gaming, or calling yourself a gamer, is more about a culture and a lifestyle. It's not just about playing games and things like that. And so I don't think that anybody is just a gamer. I think it's an identity that you assume. And so I'm kind of, and I know you think a little bit differently. Like I'm not in the camp that everybody who just picks up a controller is automatically a gamer. And I'm not saying that you have to have played, you know, X number of hours, or that you have to have all the ultimate systems or be a hardcore competitive player to be a gamer. But I do think at the end of the day, there's a difference between a gamer and a game player.
See, what I think you're describing though is gamer versus casual gamers, right? Because I still think, personally, and let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree, that, like you said, if you pick up a controller and play a game, you are considered a gamer. And you mentioned mobile games, for example, right? Today we look up to so many Let's Players and gamers that are top competitive players, and we know them by name.
Sure.
And are they defined by how much they play, how many hours they put in, versus, say, a casual gamer that plays Candy Crush, and you don't know them by name, but like they've synced in thousands of dollars into the app. And would you still consider that as a gamer just because it's on mobile versus console or not PC? Is that person who's spending this much time and money into Candy Crush or games alike, why wouldn't that person be considered a gamer?
I don't know if it's actually a game. And the reason I say this is because Candy Crush it's one of those freemium mobile games that's primarily designed to push people to play it and spend money on it. There's no character, there's no story, there's really no environment. It's kind of like this addictive thing that you just play.
Like a slot machine.
Like a slot machine in a casino. Which, I mean, it's still a game. It's still a game of odds and things of that nature. But if you're only playing Candy Crush, you might be more of a puzzle master than a gamer.
In short, you're saying people who play Candy Crush are not gamers?
I'm not that I'm saying that. I'm saying that if that's the only game you play, I would have trouble saying that you're a gamer.
All right, well, we have
but it's not for me to decide. It's not for me to decide.
We have 10 people who play Candy Crush. Bring them on out.
I don't think it's for me to decide who a gamer is, but I do think, but I think what it is an identity that you as a person assume. Mm-hmm. So I think a person, if they're calling themselves a gamer, this is somebody who's interested and believes in the power of video games, right? The power of video games to connect with people, the power of video games to assume different realities, the power of video games to explore places and ideas that you never would explore or in your ordinary life. It's like, it's a language, it's a community, it's a connectivity. Like there's all these other psychological layers on top of gaming that when you call yourself a gamer, you ascribe to. Like, you know, when I go home, for instance, to play with my family for Christmas or Thanksgiving. Like we're always playing games.
Yeah.
We're playing Password, we're playing board games, we're playing video games, like we'll sit and play Monopoly, right? Like on the PlayStation. So, but the only two gamers in that room are me and my brother. Because we have been playing video games since we were 3 years old, right? I played on a Commodore 64, was the first system I ever played on. I call myself a gamer because I believe in video games. And I think that's the difference. You see somebody who just plays and someone who calls himself a gamer. Now, I could be completely wrong. Disagree with me in the comments.
So it's funny that you mentioned Commodore 64 because I was thinking we're about the same age, and we've been around video games for the longest time. And you've shared an interesting article, which we'll put in the description below, and it goes into all these graphs, and one of the graphs that we pulled is the age demographic. And yes, I play a game. With the majority of 26 to 35-year-olds making up 46% of people that said, yes, I play games. But also what you were talking about, I was thinking about how a lot of the things that you were mentioning, it was being collaborative and like being part of a culture. But I can't help but go back to like people who sink so many hours into playing games that say play by themselves.
Like RPGs.
Yeah, like RPGs, sure. Or who don't even
single-player
RPGs, or don't even spend money on having an online account and just playing story modes. And even if they say didn't complete the games, but they have a decent library or a decent amount of games that they have played, I still think that you can't really pinpoint being like, okay, you played this many games or this many hours and say that, okay, this makes you a gamer. Oh, you just fell short, you're not a gamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think those sort of arbitrary metrics don't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Because they vary so much from person to person. So it's kind of like you can't impose that on someone else. Yeah. But I think my ultimate point is that gaming is a culture. And even for the RPG person, like my favorite RPG is Final Fantasy VII. I don't know, I probably talked about that on the channel before, but it is a game, it's the first game I ever played where I cried. Tears. When I was in school getting bullied and stuff like that, Final Fantasy VII was my escape, is where I went to get away from all of that. And so even though that was a single player experience, I was still connected to a community. And even if I didn't interact with those folks, there's still legions of Final Fantasy VII players around the world who can relate to that experience. So even if I'm in casual conversations with somebody I just meet on the street and we're like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII, and they're like, oh my God, do you remember what happened when Cloud did this? Sephiroth? What? Like, is this automatic language and understanding that takes place with people you might not know, but you share this gaming experience.
I would also like to mention that in that article we were talking about, genres of games, right? Some people, and it does vary by the individual, where some people identified themselves as gamers if they played certain genres.
Yeah. If you play first-person shooters or RPGs or what was the other one?
I just remember trivia. People said,
no, trivia and puzzles.
I'm not a gamer.
Like they did not call themselves gamers, and I think that's fair. I think everyone plays games, right? Everybody plays games. Gaming
especially today.
Especially today. It's bigger than Hollywood. I mean, it makes more money than Hollywood and music combined right now as far as revenue. So it's a huge industry. It's the most immersive art form that's ever been created. So everybody games. But I just have trouble saying that everyone is a gamer.
You mentioned music, right? And that makes me think
about territory.
It makes me think that like
you're home by the sea.
What constitutes as, say, like a certain band's fan? It's like, oh, I have their album, I listen to it. But like you were kind of describing about Final Fantasy VII, if you met a random person on the street and you're like, oh my God, like you know this band, you know this album, do you remember what it was like to hear that song for the first time?
Right.
And you could also be behind the scenes and like, you're not very public, so you don't actually see them and go to the concerts and stuff like that. So are you considered like a true fan? And that's kind of like parallel to being a gamer. So please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know, guys. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, let us know what qualifies you as a gamer or non-gamer.
I just want to make this point, and this will be my final point on this. It's not for someone else to determine who is and who isn't. Like when we're talking about music, right? Like my favorite artist in the world is Beyonce.
Oh, they're gonna say Smash Mouth.
No, that's not gonna say. Not gonna say Smash Mouth. I consider myself a Beyonce fan because I'm following everything, not everything that she does, but I'm like all of her albums. I've been with her since Destiny's Child. Like that's my girl, that's my G. And so I would consider myself a fan versus like my brother who will, he likes Beyonce. He'll listen to a song or two and things like that, but he's like, he wouldn't call himself a Beyonce fan.
He's a casual.
He's like a more Kanye, Jay-Z West, Justin, I'm sorry if I'm getting these wrong. But that's like his taste in music. So he's a more casual sort of listener, but he wouldn't call himself, I think, a Beyonce fan.
So it's up to the individual to determine whether or not they're a gamer, and here's why.
Yeah, I think so.
So let us know in the comments what makes a gamer versus a non-gamer, and give us a call at 347-948-6271 and tell us, what do you want us to talk about? Anything about gaming.
Anything. And also make sure you follow us on our Discord, the Leaderboard fam. The conversation there has been really, really good. It's growing. Happy to engage with people. Everybody in the office kind of participates on one level. So make sure you follow us on Discord if you want to continue this conversation.
Link in the description below. Up next is in-game chat, where we respond to your comments and shout out comment of the week. Our first comment comes from 107 Facts About Castlevania. Metal Up Your Ass won that weird moment when you thought you were watching Did You Know Gaming until the end of the video.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I think you should have known that from the beginning of the video.
I mean, if looking at all the art around the channel, you should probably know it's not Did You Know Gaming. We love Did You Know Gaming, by the way, but we're the leaderboard. We sound different.
AA Ron says, you guys enjoy your normal consoles while I play on my PS Wii Box Cube Switch.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. It's just kind of neat to see people make up stuff, and it just made me laugh.
It reminds me of Gamecast.
Game.
Let me know if you guys get that reference. This is a great comment from our previous discussion, which is your favorite controller on last week's Notification Squad. Gazinsha Fox. GameCube simply has the best controller of all time. Just feels perfect for my hands. Different button size to how high priority they are. And you actually responded to that, and you agreed, and I was so proud of you, Darrian.
I mean, listen, I love, well, okay, love is a lie. I like the design of the GameCube controller. I think it, like the Xbox controller, they each have their pros and cons. My personal preference, again, personal preference. I'm not telling you all have to believe what I believe, but my personal preference is the PlayStation 4 controller. It has perfect symmetry, and that makes it amazing. Our next comment comes from Figuratronic1 on the same video talking about controllers, because there were hundreds of comments about people's favorite controllers. Figuratronic1 just basically said he's doing an in-depth review about the Xbox One controller. The Elite, which he has, is a long comment, but he really just goes into detail about why he likes it. Like, it's multicolored, it's got comfy buttons, and I just thought that, I just gave him like 1,000 points. The points don't mean anything in the comments, guys, just in case you were wondering. But
breaking his heart right now.
No, I mean, he knows, but the idea, like, I love when people take time to really give a solid opinion on something.
Yes.
When they really go in depth. And I think anytime someone does that in our comments, they deserve a response, just a shout out. Like, and that's all I said. I was like, you know what? I appreciate that you took the time to answer this video, because you gave a really thorough opinion. I appreciate it.
Hans Bartolome says, we already know who's better. Minecraft, like if you agree. Subscribe if you don't agree. And that's from Overwatch vs. Paladins.
Yeah, that was a good one. I just, I love when people make lighthearted comments like that. It's great. From the same video, Overwatch vs. Paladins, we've got Jimmy Russells. And, he basically says, I'm a simple man. I see clickbait titles with emojis. I thumbs down. And I've seen a lot of comments recently about the use of emojis.
Even on Reply, we got some support.
But you're right. We did get some support, like We're Fire GMG, who said, didn't think this was too clickbait. As a player of both games, he gave pretty nice points and let you decide whether one game stumps another. I appreciate that, because I think we're pretty balanced in that video. And we also have Alex Floor, who says, I'm a simple man. I see a stupid comment. I dislike it.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, but I love it.
Coming in from the same video, Surobi98 says, Joshino is coming for ya. Who's that?
Well. So one of the things I want to say up front about the Joshino thing, we try to always give attribution on the videos that we do. And unfortunately, the asset links where we give our attribution were not on that particular video when it went live. It's on there now. Yep. It's on there now. We took care of it. But that was one of the issues. We used footage, and this is a common thing. It's fair use that people in YouTube do, utilizing other gameplay footage, but we always attribute. And so that didn't happen, and wanted to point that out.
So again, the attributions are there now, and apology to Joshino, but thank you for the 30 seconds worth of gameplay footage. Fluff writes a long comment and ends with, this just feels like an undercooked shot at relevancy without enough research to fully support both sides.
And I responded to this comment in the comments, and we try to give as broad an overview of some of these games as possible. Like, it's a versus video, it's a quick comparison, it's an 11-minute video, and sometimes you can't go in depth in 11 minutes. Like, we can sit here and talk 20 minutes about one aspect of the game, and so we try to cover everything. I think it's fair for people who are passionate about games to kind of call us out and say, hey, there's more to the game, and we know there's more to the game, and we love that you're passionate about it. But for the time that we have to make these videos, that they serve as broad an audience as possible, that time crunch really makes it hard for us to go in depth on some things. But it doesn't roll out a Overwatch vs. Paladins Part 2.
Yeah, I think a part 2 is totally on the table, and with the catalog of Overwatch videos that we do have on the channel, I think we should look at more Paladins coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing about this video is that we were upfront about our bias, right? Like Kyle Stover and Eric Stover, who are great great contributors to the leaderboard. They pretty much do all of our Overwatch coverage. They were upfront about it, and they talked about they have a bias, and so we tell you that so you can make your own opinions. And we tell you guys that so you can make your own informed opinion. Yeah.
That's what the comment section is for.
That's what the comment section is for. So in game chat, we love to select the comment of the week, one that kind of just resonates with Nicky and I, and that comes from our boy J Pony Loco, who said, "Well, I'm an idiot. I did not know there was a notification squad for the leaderboard, only Frederator. How long has there been a notification squad for the leaderboard?"
Well, this is only episode 5, so you're not that late, and we're happy that you did find us. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And we did respond and have a nice conversation. And like I said, it's never too late to join the squad. And speaking of the squad, we are on our next segment, Fam Roundup, where we shout out the squad. Angel Jazzy tells us about what their favorite controller is and says sometimes it's messing me up, and also I'm gonna join, meaning the squad.
We have another comment from Blazing Infernape. Is it free to call you?
Yes and no.
That's a great answer. I said yes, but in the reply to this, but there are some conditions that apply for your international caller.
Next comment comes from the True Peanut Notification Squad. Kind of missed it, I think. And that kind of is funny because they're talking about like when the video went live. And then Hudson Does Whatever said, Notification Squad, but for some reason, YouTube notified me 3 hours later.
Ooh, bad form, YouTube. Bad form. Oh, our next fan roundup comes from Gage Atkin, who says, "Just joined the notification squad," and that's gotta be Ocarina of Time. Nicky, what is he talking about?
So we have an awesome way to close out Fan Roundup, and that is the segment, a sub-segment called How Well Do You Know That Game? And it's your chance to win prizes. Last week we showed you this image, and as we slowly zoom out, you can see that it's from a Zelda game, specifically from Nintendo 64. Is it Ocarina of Time? Is it Majora's Mask? And a lot of you did get it right, and you did guess Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, but it's actually Ocarina of Time, and there could only be one winner.
And that winner is the real one, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
The real one is the real winner this week. DM us your info on Twitter @theleaderboardnet.
So this week we have a new image.
Yeah, and you're looking at it.
And you're looking at it. It's on the screen
right now. So if you were the first person to get this image correctly from what game it's from, leave a comment if you know what it is, and you can win a Best Buy gift card.
Make sure you check the link for How Well Do You Know a Game in the description because there are a couple of rules and conditions that apply.
So that's pretty much Notification Squad. Join us every week where we talk about games, respond to your comments, and for your chance to win. Also, give us a call at 347-948-6271 and let us know what we should talk about next.
And don't forget to join us in Discord for daily conversations about games. And if you want to get more of your games, make sure you subscribe to the leaderboard. And when you subscribe, click that bell to join the Notification Squad. And Nicky, when do we upload videos?
We upload 5 times a week, actually.
And we have a new schedule. Right? We have a new schedule and we upload Wednesday through Sunday.
I can remember that.
Yeah, easy to remember. Wednesday through Sunday. We're doing what, 5 videos a week now? 5 videos.
5 videos a week.
5 videos a week.
So keep it here to the leaderboard, your home
for video game facts. Hi, I'm Darrian P. Mack.
And I'm Nicky. And this is
I'm not ready. All right, I'm sorry. Okay.
Ready?
And don't forget to chat us out.
Chat us out.
Yeah,
Chat us out.
Chat us out.
Don't forget to chat us out.
Bang.
Goodbye.